GloRilla may have just stirred up the gossip columns in the biggest way possible, and if what went down in Cabo is anything to go by, she's not just making hits in the studio anymore. She might be finding Lavore at least a little spicy. Vacation romance with none other than NBA star Brandon Ingram. The streets are talking, the cameras were rolling, and the vibes were loud and unmistakable. Cabo was lit, and so was GloRilla's birthday celebration. The whole scene went down in the early hours of the morning, the kind of night that doesn't just get remembered, gets whispered about for weeks in DMIs, blogs, and fan pages. According to a new and exclusive video footage obtained by TMZ, GloRilla and Ingram were seen getting real close, like not just friendly close, not just celebrity at the same event close, but close in that slow dance, arms around the neck, face to dash, near dash, for dash, it dash, to dash, be dash casual kind of way. And the timing, GloRilla was ringing in another trip around the sun. It was her birthday, her moment, her spotlight, and she wasn't just dancing, she was floating. Let's talk about the vibe. The nightclub Balam, one of the most buzzed about spots in Cabo, was pulsating with energy, the kind of place you can feel in your chest before you even step through the doors. People were shoulder to shoulder, drinks were spilling, DJs were screaming into mics, and phones were out trying to capture every celebrity sighting, every moment of madness. But as soon as GloRilla showed up, everything shifted. She didn't just enter, she arrived. Her presence was like flipping a switch. Her team, her entourage, and her energy took over a whole section of the club. It became her playground. Eyewitnesses said she wasn't trying to play it low-key. She was out in the open, dancing, laughing, and letting the music take over her body. And right next to her, Brandon Ingram, tall, recognizable, and locked in on her like she was the only one in the room. No awkward conversation, no fidgeting, just straight-up chemistry. People who saw them said it wasn't for show. It was real, or at least real enough for two people caught in the music, the alcohol, and the atmosphere of celebration. At one point in the footage, GloRilla had both arms wrapped around Brandon's neck, pulling him closer, swaying with the beat. He wasn't resisting. In fact, his body language was answering back. They moved in unison, slow and deliberate, the kind of dance that says, "We know y'all are watching, and we don't care." But even with all eyes on them, it seemed like they were in their own little bubble. Security, of course, wasn't playing. GloRilla's team reportedly stepped in quickly when other clubgoers pulled out their phones to record. They weren't just shooing people away, they were physically blocking the angles, making it clear that this moment wasn't for the internet. But when you're in a public place, and you're two celebrities with a whole scene unfolding around you, it's only a matter of time before someone captures the magic hand. That's exactly what happened. The climax of the night. The two of them leaving together around 3 a.m., hand in hand, with that unmistakable body language that screamed intimacy. Not just friendly intimacy, either. This wasn't industry friends. This wasn't label mates. This was something warmer, deeper, whatever label it needs. It was obvious. And let's not forget the context here, because GloRilla isn't just making headlines for birthday antics or steamy dance floor moments. She's been in the press recently for something a little less glamorous. Just days ago, TMZ also reported that GloRilla was hit with felony drug charges. The details were hazy at first, but they've since come into focus. Her home was broken into, and during the police's investigation of the burglary, they allegedly discovered marijuana in the residence, enough for it to escalate into a felony-level offense. It's the kind of trouble that can rattle even the most seasoned celebrity, especially someone rising as fast and furiously as GloRilla. But judging by the smile on her face, the sway in her hips, and the way she clutched Ingram's hand as they walked out of the club, she's not letting any of it get her down. The legal trouble, just noise in the background. The broken-in home, a footnote in her narrative. On her birthday, in her moment, she refused to let the drama swallow her shine. And Brandon Ingram, well, he's got his own comeback story brewing. The 6'8" forward is fresh off a serious ankle injury, one that kept him off the court and had Raptors fans holding their breath. Since then, he's been on the slow grind of recovery, working to ramp back up for his debut with the Toronto Raptors. It's a transition phase, a crossroads moment in his career, and maybe, just maybe, a perfect time for a little romantic reprieve. And if we're being real, what better way to recover from injury than with some beachside partying and a birthday rendezvous with one of hip-hop's boldest new voices? Let's also not ignore the sheer symbolism of it all. a rising rap star, and a major NBA player, both in transformative seasons of their lives crossing paths in Cabo. It sounds like a Drake lyric waiting to happen. GloRilla has been carving out space in a male-dominated industry with her confidence, her voice, and her no-nonsense attitude. Brandon, meanwhile, has been trying to shake off the injury stigma and prove he still has what it takes to be a major presence on the court. They're both young, famous, successful, and judging by the way they looked at each other, very much in need of someone who gets the lifestyle. Of course, we can't say for sure whether this was a fleeting vacation hookup or the start of something deeper. Celebrities connect, disconnect, and reappear with new plus ones every other week. But there was something about this particular pairing that got people talking. Maybe it's the timing, maybe it's the contrast, the southern rapper with the bold voice and tough-as-nails persona meeting the calm, reserved, lanky baller with a soft-spoken demeanor and undeniable charisma. Or maybe it's just the intrigue of two people who aren't supposed to be in the same orbit suddenly colliding under neon lights. Social media wasted no time speculating. Fans were divided, of course. Some were hyped, thrilled at the idea of GloRilla dating an NBA star and turning up post-felony charges, like a true queen of resilience. Others were side-eyeing the situation, wondering if it's a distraction, a stunt, or just another wild chapter in the already unpredictable book of celebrity entanglements. But what's undeniable is this: for a few hours in Cabo, they were the center of the universe. And isn't that what birthdays are about? About owning your story, rewriting your narrative, and showing the world that no matter what's thrown your way, be it legal issues, public criticism, or physical injury, you're still going to dance, flirt, celebrate, and leave the party, hand in hand with someone who sees you. Whether this was a moment of passion, a calculated rebound, or the blossoming of something more, it's now part of GloRilla's story. And for someone who's never played by the rules, that's exactly on brand. After all, she's not just surviving, she's thriving, and the world is watching every move she makes, even the late-night ones in Cabo. In the end, maybe this isn't just gossip. Maybe it's a moment that says more than we think. Maybe it's about reclaiming joy, about refusing to be defined by headlines or handcuffs. Maybe it's just about two people, two lives, two paths intersecting under strobe lights and tequila fumes. Or maybe it's just Cabo. Whatever it is, one thing's certain: GloRilla's not done making noise. And if Brandon Ingram's in the mix, then buckle up, because this duo might just be the new power pair we never saw coming. Whether they make it official or leave us hanging in suspense, they've already set the internet on fire, and isn't that what stars do? So while the legal drama unfolds and the sports world waits for Ingram's big return, we'll be here, watching the dance floor footage, scrolling through the comments, and wondering what's next for the most unexpected couple of the summer.